Hi guys, Saint here, and I wanted to talk about some of the biggest mistakes I see people making on the current patch of TFT, and a lot of these mistakes have to do with fundamentals. So, like if you learn this patch, these fundamentals will probably carry over to every iteration of TFT, even in the future set. So, let's talk about the first thing I see, and the biggest mistake I see people making on this is like they'll have I don't know, we'll say like they'll have like some ghosty board with center or something, right? And they're like, "Wow, I have rage blade components. I have bow rod, right?" Uh, and they will think that like, okay, I'm just gonna slam rage blade, and I'm gonna go and I'm gonna play Ash right on their opener. So they have this rage blade, but then they look around and stage three, some guy's already natural like Ash ones. Another guy gets Ash off carousel. There's like three Ash players, and then you roll down on 4-1, you hit a bunch of Kaisas, and there's no more Ashes left in the pool, and you just like auto lose the game, right? So this Rage Blade item is a very polarizing item, and it's not a very flexible item, and it kind of like pigeonholes you into playing Ash. Like that's one of the reasons why there's so many Ash players on. Like you'll see like 4 or 5 Ash players per lobby sometimes because everybody has this mindset of like, oh, I have Rage Blade, I'm gonna play tempo, and I'm gonna just hit before everyone else. You can only really do that if you know your board can win streak pretty much all of stage 2 and 3, and or you have a econ augment that's going to allow you to like get to level 8 quicker than everybody with more gold than everybody. So generally, you don't want to slam Rage Blade. The best items to slam right now are probably I would say Last Whisper because I mean literally every build in the game uses Last Whisper right now. It's a very easy item. IE is also very slammable. Ash can use Last Whisper IE. Kaisa can use a Last Whisper IE. You can use Last Whisper like if you play Heavenly King. Like there's like these are very flexible items, and then tank items. Like you can build like as many tank items as you want. You can do like Crown Guard. You can do like adaptive. Like adaptive is a very flexible item. Bramble, Stone Plate, Sunfire. All these items are very flexible. But like I extremely like say do not slam Rage Blade. You will end up in a very bad spot. So usually what happens is like when I will start slamming Rage Blade and things like that, I'll go into like stage 3. Like Krugs are done. I'll look around I'll look around and it's got everybody's board. If I see people slamming Rage Blade, I know they're hard forcing Ash no matter what, right? So let's say I see like 3 people slam Rage Blade and I have IE Last Whisper, but I have components to make Rage Blade. I won't make Rage Blade. I'll just be like, okay, well Kaisa is uncontested. I'm just gonna play Kaisa and I'm gonna roll late. I'm gonna roll a turn later than everybody. So you wait for everyone to roll on 4-1. They all take all the Ash units and all that, and then you just roll on 4-2, and you pick up all the Bruiser units like Silas, Galio, and then you basically get your Kaisa for free, and you get all the units for free, right? So you just make your life a lot easier playing an uncontested build, and you have the win con of 3-starring, one of those units like Silas, Galio, Kaisa for your win con. So that's like just the main itemization things. I want to talk about building flexible items. The next one is I see people not set their augments up to winning and being flexible. So my choices are going to be different kind of based on like what region you're on. Like, sometimes you're going to be on like Scuttle Puddle or like, like Crab Rave or something that has like infinite gold in it. But general as a rule of thumb, you want to take one econ augment, which is going to be like Epoch or like the Raining Gold or Slammin or something like that. And then after that, you want to take one of the good combat augments, which are like in the top 20. That can be like Combat Caster, Epitaph, pumping up Sleight of Hand, like any of these like good combat augments. And then you usually either want to take another combat augment or you want to take an item augment, something that's going to give you items. So that's stuff like Sleight of Hand, Band of Thieves, like things that are going to give you some items. Like Slammin also like give you items, right? So just that's kind of like a baseline rule of thumb, but don't like go too hard by it because sometimes you're going to be playing on a region where a lot of the encounters like are giving you Ornn items or like giving you extra item components. And then you don't need to take the item augment, right? Or you're going to be playing on a region that gives you infinite gold, so you don't need to take an econ augment. Like let's say you're on Scuttle Puddle, then combat augments are like much more valuable because everybody has infinite gold. Like what does 15 to 20 extra gold in the game mean if everyone already has like infinite gold? What's going to be really good in that situation is going to be combat augments, right? Things that are going to be able to like make you just overall stronger when you do hit your board. And then also taking augments that like lock you into builds, I think are like really bad. Things like what is it, like that twin shot thing or whatever, like Lucky Ricochet. That's a good augment, but you take it on 4-1 and then you look over, some guy has Kaisa 2, your game is just over, right? You're just done. Or taking like Porcelain Crest early, you look over, like somebody has like a bunch of Ashes, your game is just done, right? The only one I would say that probably doesn't apply to is Heavenly Crest because I think this is just really overpowered, and then there's actually a lot of flexibility in the heavenly build. And you don't have to just play Kayn. You can play like Silas, like Lee Sin. Like there's a bunch of things you can play around with that. So don't take things that like lock you into the game all the way through. And then another one is balancing your items. That's my next mistake that I see people doing is they'll like get 3 damage items or whatever, and they'll have no tank items, right? Or they'll like build all tank items. They have no damage items. You know, like you usually want to like be doing like 1-to-1 on your items. Like you have 2 damage items, try to get 2 tank items next. Like you go on the carousel, don't finish off that 3rd damage item. Try to get more tank items or whatever, and then you'll finish off the damage items later. So like for every damage item you're building, try to build at least 1-to-1 or 2-to-2 or whatever. Try to have a 2-item tank, 2-item backline, things like that. So also like that prevents you from getting griefed on items. Like let's say you took BF sword off both, the first 2 carousels, you get dropped no tank items, and then a bunch of damage items drop on wolves. Then you just have all damage items, no tank items, right? And you just get screwed. So don't overbuild damage items, don't overbuild tank items. Try to keep it like 50-50. You always want to have like 1 fully itemized frontliner and then 1 fully itemized backliner by the time that you get to stage 4 and 5. The next thing is not putting items on the right people. So like, people will go to these comp things and they'll just look and like, okay, these people have items on so and so and so and so, right? Like let's say you're playing, I don't know, like the Ashe build, right? And they're like, okay, well this says you put the tank items on Annie, right? Like Annie's a great tank, but let's say you roll down and you hit Nautilus 2 and you have Annie 1, you're probably going to want to put your tank items on Nautilus, right? Or like, let's say you roll down, you hit like a Galio 2 and you have like Annie 1, Nautilus 1, just take the Galio 2 and put the items on Galio 2. Or like you have an Ornn 2, put the items on Ornn 2, Like try to put the items on the things you have upgraded. And also like build your items for what you have upgraded. Like let's say you roll down and you play this Ashe build, you hit Lilia 2 but you have Ashe 1, right? You probably want to like start like looking to get items for your Lilia over your Ashe, and then just like later like build out your Ashe, right? Like try to itemize the things that you have upgraded when you're making the decisions. Like if you get to the carousel or you get like to pick an item or whatever, or it's okay to have like your level 1 Ashe have like 1 or 2 items, and then your Lilia have like 2 to 3 items, right? Just build like itemize the things that you have upgraded when you do your roll down. The next one is tunneling openers. I think this is a big thing. Is like they'll be like, okay, like I need to play this Story Weaver opener or whatever, or like I need to play like this Darius opener, and they won't play off of the units that they have naturally upgraded. Like let's say the Mythic opener, like people don't really like that opener a lot, like Cho'Gath, Malphite, Nico. It's kind of a weak opener, but like if you have all the units upgraded, you can just play Cho'Gath, Nico, Kog'Maw, and then play a sniper, and then like build your comp out from there. Or you can like you have like Jax and Garen, you can start building into like a Ink Shadow or like a Ghosty opener. Like play what you have upgraded early, and then like add on to it each round and like build off of there. Don't tunnel on like just because the opener worked out for you in a previous game. Don't tunnel on like doing that again. Like play what you have upgraded and then like slowly like build out your comp from there for the first 2 stages, and then you can like fully change your comp on stage 4. And then the last mistake that I see people doing is they're not tunneling on WinCon. So like remember we talked about before, like when I scout on 3-1 after Krugs, and I look and try to play what's not contested, right? So like I'm recognizing my WinCon. Like let's say I scout around and I'm like playing Kai'Sa. I see nobody's playing Kai'Sa. Nobody wants to play Kai'Sa. I know my WinCon is I can probably try to 3-star like a Galio or a Silas or a Kai'Sa or something like that, right? Sometimes like you're gonna be playing the game, you're gonna be contested. So your win con changes, so you can't go for a 3-star 4 cost or something like that. Now your win con is you have to like try to get to 10 and try to get legendary units or something, or you just need to play like tempo or like try to like to stay healthy early. Like you can't win every game. Sometimes you have to recognize that you can't win the game, and you just need to stay healthy and you need to play more aggressive in stage 4, and that's usually when you're like really contested and you can't really hit, or somebody else in the lobby's high rolling. So it's always good to like think about the game. Look around what people are playing, see what is open, and wait, what's not contested. And, maybe you can go for a 3-star 4 cost, maybe you can go like push level 10, things like that. Like recognize what your win con is, and then try to play towards that. And usually you're going to kind of determine that in like stage 3 and stage 4. Like usually stage 4, when you like scout around, you can kind of see what everybody has. Like you scout around, you see nobody has Annie on their board. You could probably 3-star Annie, right? Something like that as you go into the game. So those are just my tips and things that I think people are making a lot of mistakes with in this set. And I'll try to do one of these for the next patch as well. But these are just like kind of fundamental things that are going to carry over to every patch. And I hope this helped you guys out, and good luck on your games.